got a DJ chopping like I see you, boy.
Hey, hey, so tell me what you thought that it was. You know that I done caught a buzz. Rock a dick and suit like some scrubs. Fly it in the bird on your loves. You know I had to get.
Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy AlwayzCookz24 podcast. We got a nice full house in the house, you know what I'm saying? Live and on location with Mr.
Pollo Papi, the culinary artist known as Pollo Papi.
You know what I'm saying? You'll see that flash across the screen, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the cameraman, you know how we do. I'm always Cook24 podcast. And make sure I want to shout out to everybody in the building. Give yourself a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? I see CC. CC turned around. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but shout out to Sound on the Hill. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Swag Away, ENT in the building too as well. And shout out to the man of the hour, Mr. Port. Yo. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Saying, I used to mess up at first.
Hey, this ain't nothing but some time. When my boys say repetition is the father of learning, man.
Heard.
You're going to hear me say my name in the song. You'll get it. Everybody gonna get it.
So, first question I always ask anybody I talk with, man, just how you been doing, how life been treating you so far?
Man, blessed is the word. I've been doing good every day. Life gonna come with ups and downs, but always blessed. So happy in the new year and just with the stuff that's been going well for me on the artistic side, man, I'm grateful.
Okay, and just so we can start out, since you spoke there right there, like what are some of the artistic things that's been popping up and just doing very well for you so far?
Man, so off top of the month, we started off the month, Sound on the Hill, first ever Sound on the Hill team showcase, sold out function, sold out event, packed house at Black Umbrella Studio, formal, everybody suited, booted, looking beautiful, and man, JJ on the camera, just a beautiful situation from top to bottom. So that was victory number one on day one of the month. And then same day was the first day of the curated gallery. It is a art show focused on Black mental health, Black joy, and the theme is savor. So like taking the time to appreciate your moments. And I've been fortunate enough, like my artwork that I've been making over the last 5 years, I got my own little wall that's all my art in there too. So that's gonna be running all month from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. downtown Huntsville at the Times building, Tuesday to Saturday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. So that's huge for me. Okay. And then the day after that, hit the 3-year anniversary from my first like musical tape ever. So it's been WWW. You know what I'm saying? Like a domain. We winning. Yeah.
Keeping yourself going like that, man. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the questions I have for you. I might well ask you now. Like, what's something about yourself that you can say you're proud of? You know what I'm saying? That a quality about you that you probably been working on, you surpass it now, and you look at it like, man, I know I'm glad I got that. Mark that off my list.
Man, being more grateful for my gifts. I used to kind of be very casual about what I was able to do. And I can say until I stopped being so casual, like where I'm at right now with being willing to put myself out to perform in front of people, I was pretty comfortable rapping in front of people, but now like, I got some songs where I'm singing and being like, I don't mind singing in the studio, but to sing in front of people was something I wasn't really comfortable doing. So being more comfortable and me being more comfortable is just from being a little bit more grateful because my gift could be something different, you know, and I got to rest in what I got to give and what I got to offer. So being more grateful for that. And it wasn't always that way. So
glad you said that. Let's take it back to the beginning, some of the beginnings, you know what I'm saying? Like born and raised in Huntsville.
I wasn't born here, but I was raised here.
Where you from?
I was born in Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. Lived there till I was 6. And then my family moved to Huntsville, and then we was in Huntsville briefly, and then we was in Madison for the most part.
Okay.
Growing up.
Of course, you seen the change, the difference in area?
Crazy. It was cotton fields and farms, all county lines. Cotton fields, farms. And of course, Huntsville has changed, like, even from the time I graduated high school to right now, it's a very different place.
And you adapted very well.
Hey, man. You got to get in where you fit in.
To a point to where, so, okay, art, cooking, culinary,
Yeah.
and music.
Yes, sir.
Which one was first?
Art was first.
So where did the cooking come from?
Cooking came from the crib. Like my family is it's a cooking house. You know, like my dad can burn, my mom can burn. I picked it up from them. My little brother, he can cook too. So like if it's in the music, I put it in the music. So songs like Tailgate Season, that's like real life. That's autobiographical. Cause both my folks and them Bulldogs. So I came up, once we did live here, like I came up in the gravel line. I came up tailgating. I came up playing pickup football on the side of the hill off the parkway. So like fried fish, ribs, chicken, smokers. It was really just being around it. And nobody, I won't say nobody, but it wasn't because somebody sat there and put my hands on it and said, this is how you do it. It's just being around it and soaking it up. And then you move away from home and you need that taste of home. So it's like either if you somewhere where you can't find it, you got to figure out how to do it yourself. And I was in Omaha, Nebraska. I couldn't find it. So I had to figure out how to do it myself.
What made you elevate into where you can make yourself a business owner?
If enough people kept pressing me, like, when you gonna start selling it? Like I was frying chicken. I was in Omaha frying chicken.
Was it hard for you to make that because you felt so good feeding people? Was it hard for you, or was it like what was the breaking point?
So it's a business, and pleasure is very opposite sides of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
So for me, coming up, tailgating is fun, right?
Yeah.
Having a party at your crib and inviting your favorite people over is fun. Selling something, the pressure of selling your work to somebody that you don't know, and now you can't just, the food is done when it's done. You got to have the food ready at 5 p.m., hot, fresh, crispy. You know, it's a different level of pressure. And I'm not going to lie, bro, I struggled with that for the first several years.
Really?
And still sometimes, that's like not my favorite part of the game. I enjoy serving. I enjoy the ambiance. I enjoy creating like the space for people to have a good time. But I don't enjoy the paperwork. I don't enjoy bookkeeping and accounting. I don't. None of that stuff is the fun part for me. Can't lie. Still ain't fun.
Was it something you had to?
You got to do it though.
But you got to do it.
And if you don't do it, they're gonna come for you. If you don't do it, they're gonna come for you.
If you want to know who they is, just do the first part.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about who they is.
Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Do right.
Just do right.
Stay ready. You got to get ready. And if it comes down to it, man, you can pay somebody to do it. Like you can pay somebody to handle the parts you don't like. And I think that's something that's my takeaway from the business part. Specialize in what you're good at, specialize in your specialty, and find people. You need to build a team, find people that can strengthen you up in the areas where you are not the strongest, so that you can do what you need to do to stay in business.
Was it hard for you to find people to trust during that era, right?
It's hard for me to ask for help, period.
I feel you.
And I can probably thank Sound on the Hill for like helping me break that. So that's in recent years. And it's even still the first year and a half of being a team member with Sound on the Hill. I still was trying to host the event, fry the chicken, go perform, count the money. And you can't be in 5 different places at one time. So people will watch me run around. Hey, you need anything? And, you know, at this point, it's because I'm desperate, not because I was being proactive. And it's better to ask for help in advance and trust that people got your best interest. Like, have people you can trust first, you know, but then once you got people you can trust they got your best interest and are going to be willing to support you and help you out.
Yes, sir.
You know, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to be a burden, so I'm just not going to ask. And then you end up making yourself a burden in a different way because now people hungry. We can't eat till you know. It just passed the buck down the line a little bit. But
that's true.
Lessons learned though. You know, lessons learned.
Okay, so in the art world, some of the same facts and some of the same things that you use in your cooking world, can you say you apply those? Can you say that you apply those rules to your art, as far as the love part of it, the desire?
Art was where I felt it the worst, man. I got my issues with cooking gigs, but that's because of the physical labor, right? It just takes time. It's a lot of hours shopping, standing up on your feet, and it's sometimes just the money is not always worth what you have to do for it. But art is different because that's something where I wasn't doing art for other people. My art was something, it was a personal thing. And like anything I draw, it wasn't for somebody else. And when I started trying to do art for money, and you have to take somebody else's idea out their brain and they don't really know what it looks like yet, and you gotta try to make something that they haven't seen yet, and they still like it. And so the process of listen to the instructions, draw it, pass it across the table. I don't quite like, I need to change this, change that. That back and forth, I learned that I don't like that.
You know, but did you still have to like deal with it?
Yeah, if you wanna make art for money, yeah. If you want to do commissions, and so that's one of the reasons, like I said, grateful, man, for this art show, because it's about my work, and not like a commission job is somebody tells you what they want made, you make a graphic design, a logo for the business, a portrait. I can do those. I got portraits on the wall over there.
Yes,
but it's different when people are there to see your mind, your heart, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I told myself, once I got the experience of doing the commission work, if I'm doing it, it's because I need to be doing it at the moment. But the goal is to get paid for my stuff, you know.
In this place that has so much art and stuff in it, talk a little bit about this place, right?
Yeah,
it's a special spot right here.
Yeah, it is, man. First and foremost, I gotta shout out my brother, Tony Hodge, man, the rug man. This is his baby that he welcomed me in to be a part of. So he started off in this building making custom rugs, tufting and making custom rugs. Probably during the pandemic time frame, he got into that, and then he was already at this for at least a year and a half before I moved back to Huntsville.
Okay.
And my best friend, we got a mutual friend. We all went to high school together, but it's like my best friend since knee high. He's like, man, now that you back home, you really need to get up with bruh. And he was supporting my art when I was away. I had drew some portraits for him. We talk about the commission work.
Okay.
I drew some portraits for him, and it's different when you draw something for somebody the first time and they love it, right? So that was one of those. That was one of those deals. Like first time, it was on point. So when I got back, he's been really a battery in my back on all of this stuff. That placement in the art gallery, I wouldn't know the guy. Shout out to Salah. That's the man who is one of the orchestrators and the curators of the curated gallery downtown. That's that logo up here on that rug. That's his logo. So I wouldn't know that man if not for Tony making that connection.
Okay.
And that's put me in position to even know about the gallery, to have my work in this art show this month.
Okay.
So just to show how it all come full circle. So the Basement Boys Art Gallery came from us collaborating. And when Tony gets commission jobs too, and he don't have a problem. He'll make whatever you need made, right? Yep. But sometimes he needs the artwork to do his rug commissions.
Okay.
And so I would be the art man. He'd do the actual products. And so we just figured it makes sense for us to put everything in one space. So now we host private events here. We host meetings here. We host rug making and tufting classes. We do paint and sips. We got a birthday party in here this weekend. Just whatever you need, man. The Basement Boys at the Basement Boys on Instagram. That's BASEMENTBOYZ. You know what I'm saying? Basement Boys with a Z. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram, and we got a booking link in there, man. Whatever you want to do, go in there, pick your dates, and we want to get more people in here and share the space. I think anybody that spent time in the basement, it help you get back in touch with your inner child, man. Just be creative. You got a couple hours to just be free, let your mind wander a little bit, process whatever you got on your mind, on your heart, and get it out.
That's one thing that, because I know that we're big on mental health and stuff like that. And take a brief moment just on stick to that what you were saying about how art can help free your mind. For some people, you know what I'm saying, just throw that message out there, just a little positive link to let some people know that want to try, might not try. Yeah. You know.
Man, the biggest thing I tell folks when they come in here is there is no good and bad art, right? It's yours. It doesn't have to be for anybody else's eyes. It doesn't have to be measured on a scale. do you feel better after you're done? And I think that all has to do with how you start. If you come in here with those putting those expectations to the side, you can just enjoy being in the moment and letting it go. All of my art that I got in that art show, excluding a few pieces that were like portraits on purpose, is a freestyle. And you'll see that if you know my musical journey, so much of it comes from freestyling. And it's free is the operative word in that. I'm not thinking about trying to make something for somebody or make something talking about this or that. Start off where you start off and see what comes from it. And that'll tell you a lot about where your head is at. That'll tell you a lot about where your heart is at. So I like to encourage people to come to the basement with that kind of energy. So even our paint and sip, it's not going to be like a other paint and sip where you're going to follow along with me and I tell you exactly what to paint. You got two options. You can paint one of the tunes I already got drawn up in here, or you can come paint from your heart and just let it flow. And I think that's something that sets us apart from other experiences in the city.
I dig that, man. I did. Wouldn't mind trying it out.
Oh yes, sir. We'd be glad to have you.
So, yeah, I would like to come and do that right there.
Hey, man, downtown Huntsville, we right here.
You know what I'm saying? So now, as we get to the music.
Hey, hey. So tell me what you thought that it was. You know that I done caught a buzz. Rock a dick and suit like some scrubs. Fly it in the bird on your loves. You know I had to get it, man. Making plays, Alabama out to Philly, man. Said you know I had to get it, man. Get this paper if you ready and you really, man. Swing down, came down, shawty wanna let me ride. Play a fly, know I came in, boy I'm also ride. Every time I move it look like I'm floating high glide. Be peace, take time to see. We can't rush time, it's just gonna be easy. So I wait, cause we can't force these things. Patience is a virtue, don't you let that rushing hurt you. Be peace, take time to see. We can't rush time, it's just gonna be easy. So I wait, cause we can't force these things. Patience is a virtue. Off top, call it cabriolet. Challenge my fate, shift gears, balance my pace. Too much rotation, bending corners that can damage my frame. Players gon' play, but that don't make life a game. See, I was swinging hard, Ali and Sonny listening. Had to realize life is up and down like a piston. Bad boy serving me, Mike Lowry inspired me. Speeding and switching lanes with senoritas on side of me. But what you gonna do when they come for you?
I know you say you had a journey.
Oh yeah.
So like for you, what was your journey like in the music getting started to the point where you're as strong as you can be right now?
Man, just growing up around great music for one. I gotta shout out my dad, cause he's not a musician, but there was no shortage of good music. We spent a lot of time, especially when I was young, driving up and down the road from Florida to here, visiting family in Birmingham, visiting family in Anniston, jamming.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Jam, LTD, Parliament Funkadelic, you know what I'm saying? Johnny Taylor, like jam.
Really jam.
So that's like my musical foundation.
Okay.
And then probably getting up into the high school era, like Lil Wayne, the Drought 3, like freestyle tapes, that had a big influence on me.
Big
like,
tapes.
We in the Basement Boys art gallery, but like Rap City the Basement, big influence on me.
Yes, sir.
So around high school, it got to the point where like, you know, your partners start trying to rap, where you got a little backseat freestyles. And that's, I say, probably senior year of high school, I figured out, like, I can freestyle a little bit.
Yeah.
And that became something I kind of I left. I went to school in Tallahassee, Florida, at FAMU.
Okay.
Go Rattlers, you know. Just getting around people, man. And you like, okay, you know, you find the folks that birds of a feather. So you go find the folks that like to rap, or it was people in my dorm on my floor that was rapping and like are like rappers now. You know, not that I'm not a rapper too, but like.
You still remember your first moment?
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. I tell you where I was at.
Okay. I wonder.
Yeah. Panama City Beach, 2010, spring break. That was like.
Was it enough? Or was it enough moment, or was it I'm gonna show you who I am?
They was like, man, when y'all gonna stop? Shut up! Like, it was late. It was late. They was like, man, they still rapping. Like, we trying to go to sleep. Trying to go to sleep. But it was like, we didn't care, man, because we was just young and having fun. Yeah. And so even then, man, I try to keep that fun energy in what I do. the Freestyle Friday show that I was host. I used to host. I still do occasionally, but very consistently used to host a Freestyle Friday show on Instagram Live.
Okay.
And that kicked off 2021, kind of on the tail end of the pandemic era. And then when I moved back home from up north, I kept that going.
Okay.
And then that actually is how I started collaborating with Sound on the Hill.
Okay.
So I met CC at a studio session at EQ Labs.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I learned about what she was doing, I got invited to her studio mixer at EQ.
Okay.
Seeing how that functioned, and was like, hey, I got this idea. I really wanted to make Freestyle Friday an in-person event. And I was like, I think what I do and what you do would be a good collaboration.
Right.
And so we started testing it out once a month. You know, we try a little Freestyle Friday, and then just got consistent for one. You got to be consistent if you want to see some results. And it grew and it grew and it grew, and we kind of outgrew EQ a little bit.
Yeah.
Moved it over to Black Umbrella, and man, that was history. So
yeah, that was. Like I said, I remember meeting some of y'all there, and I can say it was a great thing to see, because I always wanted to see everybody working together under one roof.
Yes, sir.
That's probably one of the most funnest things I enjoy seeing, from the door all the way to each little studio, and that's why I first seen you. Cuz had on the tank top with the apron.
Man, cooking.
Going back and forth.
Cooking, running.
Going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with the wings, and everybody was waiting in line. And I knew I wasn't gonna get none, because I was like, well, man, it's too many every time. You know, I'm new. I'm like just looking around. I'm just gonna wait and see. Maybe that's somebody I know.
Hey, we had the air fryer jumping.
but that's the dedication, though.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying. So where are you at now with the music? Like, what's new?
Man, what's new? Like I said, celebrating the 3-year anniversary of my first project, and I'm trying to get a lot of people are more familiar with my newer work.
Okay.
But the reality is, when I was making it, like the songs that are newer to folks, was being made at the same time as my first project. So a lot of this stuff is like,
so you've been holding
years.
I've
been holding them.
Okay.
So it's empty the vault, get them out. And I spent a lot of time at those open mics and at the Freestyle Fridays and studio mixes, just trying to see how people respond to the song, really practicing performing the song, so I can know how I want to manage the stage. But now that that's kind of solidified for me, at least with the catalog I got out, got new collab tapes that's gonna be dropping this year.
Okay.
I'm working on the sequel to Think Twice right now. That's gonna be, Lord willing, that's gonna drop this year. I ain't gonna make a promise, because I'm not gonna put it out till I'm ready to put it out. But got a lot of features out there in the world, and people computers and phones and hard drives, you know. So we got to get with some of the other artists to get them ready to want to drop stuff. But we've been working and open to collaborating too, if it makes sense. So
any new visuals?
Man, we got the hey man, the visuals on the way. All I'm gonna say is shout out to JJ, man. That's what I'm gonna put that like that. Shout out to JJ all day, man.
How did and you know, doing something like that, is that something that you normally do or been wanting to do, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I'm making my music, I kind of see in my brain like visual. I'm from the era where like Ludacris videos, Missy Elliott videos, Busta Rhymes videos. Like a video wasn't just rapper hands to the camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's story driven.
Yeah.
Story driven. So
like a comic book.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so me as an artist as well, like all of that, the vision and the song and the music, it all needs to go together. And so I've drug my feet a lot with the video, because it's like when I do it, I want to do it the way I want to do it.
Right.
And you know, sometimes we call analysis paralysis, man.
Okay.
You do too much thinking and not enough moving your feet. So this year the challenge is you done thought about it enough. It ain't got to be perfect, but you need to try. Okay. You done did enough thinking. It's time to do the trying.
Yes, sir.
I know the people I need to call. I know the people I got to help. Mm-hmm. I know who to ask for help now, and I'm okay with asking for help now. So we just gonna try. And even tonight, the shoot I did tonight was just, hey, send the message. It's either gonna be a yes or a no. If we can make it go, we gonna make it go.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, we're approaching the end. And I got a few more questions I want to ask you, and it's pretty much personal towards you.
Okay.
Being a person that's close to the community, and I know that that's something that make you feel good inside. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just all they accept me thing. It's a look at what I can do to make a change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether people notice it or not. So how does that make you feel, man, inside being a person in the community, well loved, love back, vice versa?
Man, I'm gonna be real. So, personal question. I'm gonna give you a personal answer. It's I struggle to accept it at times because that was the biggest hurdle for me with making music. Was are people gonna want to hear what I got to say? Am I relatable enough? Is my story relatable? Is my life relatable? And once I pushed myself to care a little bit less about that, that got me over the hump and off the porch with just putting it out.
Okay.
And then you got it out there, and now people, giving you the good feedback. They gravitate to. I deal with it with art too. This is something that makes people smile, but it might have came from some pain for me.
Word.
And so being okay with people connecting to you from a kind of vulnerable place that they may not fully understand, and then people, being in the community part and accepting the love, right? And not being apprehensive or not being on edge, like when is the love gonna flip?
Yeah.
And worrying about if it's ever gonna turn sour.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, that's negative thinking, man. And you don't want to think stuff into your world that you don't really want.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge for me, but it's also been a blessing to push towards overcoming that and just accepting where I'm at right now. Be myself, focus on being authentic, focus on being genuine, and do what you want to do. Don't do what you don't want to do, and either if they like it, they like it. If they love it, they love it. If they don't, that's too bad. It's too bad.
And I like how you said
It's too bad.
Because it made me I remember something that I shouldn't have forgot. Your podcast host now. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Out the Way podcast, man.
So tell us a little bit. Just shout out to the crew, but coming from you, talk a little bit about the you know what I'm saying, what it's like in the life of podcasting, streaming and showing and look. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you like this, man. Much like many things, if it wasn't for the team of people around me, there's a lot of stuff that would not get done by me, or at least would not get done as consistently as it's getting done. So shout out to Indigo Management, Indigo Kid 87 on Instagram. Shout out Squirt Alert. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Paperman, my cohorts on the Out the Way podcast. And Out the Way podcast is really just it's a group of black men getting together to have positive, uplifting conversations about topics that aren't always talked about out loud. Yeah. But the intent is always education, elevation, positive intention, improvement, community economics, just what can we do to grow as individuals? What can we do to grow together?
Yes, sir.
And that's what we on, man. And at the same time, stay out the way. You can be in the mix when you need to be, but handle the biz and get back out the way.
Shout out to the crew. Y'all already know. Where did the creation of the name come from?
Man, I feel like we were just talking. And the first episode, they came out the way to my crib, and I stay out the way. So hey, I'm all the way out the way. So they pulled up on me, and we recorded the show. And I think afterwards we was like, what we gonna call it? It was like, man, we out the way. And it just stuck. So that's how it landed.
And then where did Pollo Papi come from?
Man, Pollo Papi, chicken daddy, chicken man.
Give it to him.
I'm gonna be for real. Some people names are given and some people names are chosen. And at the time, this was shortly after I started cooking chicken for money in Omaha. And I wanted to go cook. The goal for the year was I'm going to Tallahassee and I'm cooking chicken for homecoming as a vendor, right? And you can't be a vendor if you ain't got your EIN number. It's also stuff we talk about on Out the Way podcast. Paperwork for your business.
Write it down.
But you had to get my EIN number. Right. So that's when Chicken Coop LLC was born. And so in my promo run, which was really just me showing people like how I'm living, kind of like I'm really cooking chicken. I really got like 300, 400 pounds of chicken at the house. Like I got a gig this weekend. I got to cook. And I was like, man, I need to update my Instagram information. So I kept my same Instagram I got today, my personal, Mr. Miller GNF.
Okay.
But that headline. You know, you got your Instagram, your @ name, and then you got the name that show up on the page.
Yeah.
And I changed it from Mr. Miller. I was like, it ain't Mr. Pollo Papi now. This before I was rapping. This before anything. This was just
everything?
Yeah. This was just like off the strength of the off the muscle.
Okay.
Like rebrand a little bit. And so when it came time, I was recording music while I was living kind of in the Philly area. It was like, man, now it's time to drop. I got enough music I made to drop. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tay Garnett, Alan Ali, Chill Will, PHL, all the guys I was working with in the Philadelphia area that kind of got me comfortable recording, got me comfortable making music. But now it's like, what's the name on the tape, right?
Right.
And you know, I'm business minded. I'm thinking about if I'm going to drop, I don't want nobody to have my name.
Right.
And so I would have just used my name. You know, like, you know, people, all kind of rappers got their name out there. Kendrick Lamar, Mick Jenkins. But it's too many people got my name on Apple Music and Spotify. So I can't use that. So I was like, what's next? See a Pollo Papi taken. Pollo Papi ain't taken. So I was like, hey,
take go.
Run it. That way, if you searching for me, you gonna find me. You know.
And that's it. Okay.
And that's it.
2025. What is your goal that you know you're going to accomplish this year?
2025. The goal that I know I'm gonna accomplish is living a more authentic, more intentional life for the benefit of Nicholas Miller, aka the culinary artist known as Pollo Papi. You know, we done practiced for a lifetime, showing up for others in a positive way. We done practiced for a lifetime trying to show up as positive as I can, just as a person. Mm-hmm. But now being intentional about pointing that at myself, showing up for my own endeavors and not putting my stuff on the back burner.
Yes, sir.
And doing myself a disservice. So I know I'm doing that, like off the top, for how the first month and 5 days of the year has gone. If I didn't do nothing else, I've knocked out some big goals for me this year. So we just gonna keep it going.
So food, music, art.
Yes, sir.
For the ones that want to find your music, for the ones that want to find your food, for the ones that want to find your art, or if you got a place where they can go and find it all,
yeah,
let them know where to come to, where to look for, and it'll be right across the screen.
Yeah, we'll do that. So first and foremost, on Instagram, if you're looking for me, or if you're looking for me on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you can search Pollo Papi. That's POLLO PAPI. Pollo Papi, not Polo, although we do got that. Pollo Papi, and it's pollopapi.gnf on Instagram. Pollopapi.gnf. That GNF stands for God Never Fails. That's the motto. That's the lifestyle. That's the truth. And then coming soon, you will be able to find the art, the music, and the food all in one place. The website is dropping. It's out there now, but it's not ready for y'all to go to it. So I'll drop the website in the comments or something when it's time for that to launch. But for right now, just be on the lookout, man. Pollo Papi World on the way.
Hey, man, thank you so much. Who you got for Super Bowl?
Hey, man, I want the Eagles to win, but boy, them Chiefs on the run, dog. Boy, them Chiefs on the run.
With that being said, y'all follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Once again, shout out to Sound on the Hill. Shout out to the shooter, 847.
Yes,
shout
indeed.
out to the spot with all the dope art and all the
Pull
dope
up on
good
us.
stuff. Love. And other than that, hey, we out.
Out of here. Catch y'all.